TGIF. What's up, everybody? What is up? What is up? I'll tell you what's up right now. These longs. Green on all accounts, baby. I can't say the same. Unfortunately, I cannot say the same. I'll keep it transparent with you. I I lost my TPT account. I took that payout. I think it was not yesterday, the day before. I went into drawdown yesterday, and then today, unfortunately, I took a loss. It was a good run, man. We took five payouts on that account. It was a good run. Took five payouts on that account and then unfortunately just couldn't hold through the drawdown yesterday and today. Ended up definitely taking more trades than I should have. And you guys know, like, I didn't stream this morning, unfortunately. But yeah, there went that account. So I've got about a couple more evals with obviously you get what you get out of them. They won't last forever. Yeah. Yeah. It was a good run. I mean, it was a hell of a run. Um, so I went, bought a couple more accounts. I still have two Apex fundeds. So I'm just kind of trading those today. Those are green. Um, and that's kind of what I'll be trading today for this PM session, which I do think we get a nice little trade here. Just kind of waiting for a retrace. So yeah, that's where that went. Unfortunate, boys. Yeah, very unfortunate. I was pretty sad. Not sad, obviously. I'm not like, ugh, but I was pretty disappointed. I was like, man, I tried I tried three attempts on some logs this morning. Does the lab create wallpapers? I remember you guys did one and it looks amazing. Dude, we do. Actually, I'll drop those on Twitter if you would like. Because matter of fact, matter of fact, if we drop them on Twitter, we can I can upload them in 4K and then you can just download them in 4K, I think. I also lost in two longs this morning. Yeah, so I ended up obviously I want to say over risking and then just not trading my plan this morning. I went in um orange Celsius, by the way, the best flavor. I went in, ended up taking some longs here. I'll tell you, I'll show you guys exactly where I took longs because it was really silly of me. I ended up taking longs here, got stopped out. Ended up taking longs here on this retrace, took out this low right there. Boom, bada ba bow, targeting that high, got stopped out there. And then where was the other one? It was at around like 1050. Yeah, it was not pretty. It was not pretty. It wasn't pretty. Although like I will say like I definitely obviously so from here to here I was like, okay, longs out of a discount. This is perfect. Perfect move. Longs out of a discount. Perfect move. We got the 30-second OB. 30-second OB confirmed here as well. Swing low, seeking higher. And I got stopped out pretty much three times attempting this. And yeah, unfortunately, just couldn't hold the account. So what I will be doing today, in honor of losing that beautiful account, is um I will be doing an hour on the Stairmaster as a punishment later today at the gym. So, yeah. Yeah, how are you guys finishing the week? The longs look legit though. Oh yeah, yeah. I was thoroughly convinced. The deep retrace on the second entry didn't concern you. On the second entry, no, it didn't because this is pretty much. I was on a 15, so this is my thought process. I was like, okay, I'll through it obviously because I want you guys to see like in real time. Um, so what had happened initially, and I'll walk you guys through my entire morning. What had happened initially was that I ended up catching a really banger long out of this here, 934. I wasn't trade copying, so I ended up catching a banger long on my Apex, which I'm 2 days away from a payout. Ended up catching a banger long out for 50 closure above that candle's high. It's basically the trade that I recapped here. Also, if I am a little bit laggy, there's a massive thunderstorm outside right now, here in Florida. So if anything does happen, I want you guys to know I love you all. Um, Anyways, that was the first long, and I was like, okay, I caught a bag. This is perfect. It's with my consistency. My risk was perfect. Execution was beautiful. I'm 2 days away from a payout on Apex. I was like, okay, let me switch over to my TPTs. And yeah, I ended up trying out. Okay, the areas where what happens is that usually what happens, and you'll notice this a lot with my entries, is that price, obviously we move away. And if we want to see a continuation, price will come back down and use that same exact order block that I used on my initial entry and then see a continuation higher. Um, so yeah, unfortunately, that's what happened. Sending you some neighborly love. Oh, at this point, I'm a bit bearish, but the equal highs at 447. Yeah. So, yeah. Anyways, I came down. I came down. We swept out this low. I was like, okay. Made a swing 15. Closure above that 7 5 7. Closure above that's 375. But what I actually should have waited for, and this was my mistake because I was rushing into make some profits. Um, I was actually looking for. I should have waited for a closure above this 388 candle, but instead, because I was rushing, I had entered off a closure on this 374 and basically market enter there, stop below that low, and then I got stopped there again. So yeah. Um, we'll see if we can just secure this Apex payout next week. Um, yeah, secure the Apex payout next week and go from there. What am I looking for here? I'm actually looking for a retrace into a discounted price point. First low at a discount would be nice, and then a continuation into the highs, which is exactly what I've been looking for this whole time. So yeah, I will be looking for that. But again, in advance, if I do happen to lose connection or I'm a little bit laggy, just know that there's a huge, massive thunderstorm outside right now. So anyways, yeah, I want to see if we can just get into these highs. That would be spectacularly beautiful. So here, I'm assuming there's a divergence with ES. Oh man, am I gonna be too late? I'm assuming there's a divergence with ES here. I'd love to get in on these limits. Um, yeah, there is. Okay, perfect. So ES swept out that low, is now seeking higher, closure above that 587 level. So Let's see if we can get just a nice little tag here. If not, we can potentially look to take the breaker, which I wouldn't be too opposed to. But yeah, let's see. We'll take the breaker here at 46.25. See if we can get some action out of this. 46.25, stop below the breaker, and then a continuation into the highs there. See if we can get a nice little push here. Look to go break even at the 357s if it, decides to budge. But yeah, we'll give this a try. So I'm in at 346.25, stop is at 336, 10-point stop. Looking to target the external highs for a nice little 2R move. Let's see if the PM session lets me redeem myself. That would be that would be nice. I'm gonna look to target the 376s if possible. Again, and then I'll go break even at the 360s if it permits me. So 360s will be my break even. And then I'll look to target the 376s, which is that external high. So let's see. 346, target the external high. I'll just look to trail my stop if possible. I'll mark out the break even here at the 360 so you guys can see. Then we'll head over to a bit of a higher time frame chart. Or not a higher time frame chart, but a higher. And then see if we can get a nice little push here. What I don't like is that we've taken out the previous 5-minute high and are now kind of redistributing lower. So we'll see if we get a nice little push into the highs. 10-point stop, 1040 ticks, $200 risk, just about $200 risk here. I am green on this account, so why do you use the closing price of the bearish candle as your breaker side of the color highs? Yeah, I'll walk you through that. Just give me 1 second. I just want to see, did we tap into the 60s? No, we didn't. I want to see if we can get a nice little push here. 221, 9 minutes before the what's it called? 9 minutes before 2:30 open. So next 30-minute candle. I'm not a big fan of this reaction here. I will not lie. Not a huge fan of this reaction here. Yeah, the way today's been going, it's not been great. Hasn't been great, boys. It has not been great. So we'll see. I would love a slight push here. 221, 222. Next 1-minute candle here. Can we get into the highs if possible? If this candle struggles, I think this will go against me. But it is what it is. We'll see. What's ES up to? Did ES take its previous 15-minute high? No, it did not. ES on the hourly, ES previous hourly low as well. Okay. No, I think we should be good here. I think. Again, I just want to see it push into the 360s if possible, and then I'll just look to go break even there. Um, I think that'd be phenomenal. Can we get a nice little pop here? 222, 3 minutes till the next 5-minute candle opens. Nice little pop here at the 58s. Give us a continuation here. Beautiful stuff. Okay, I'm gonna go break even here, boys, at 346.25. Yeah, one tick above my entry. That way, if anything, if anything does happen, I at least cover those commissions. But yeah, nice little pop here. Can we get a continuation here into the highs? Is what I'm wondering. I don't want to see this come back to my entry. We've made a swing low here near my entry. What does scare me is that it's been really, really struggling to get above highs. So if it's going to fail, it's going to do it here, which is why I'm moving to break even. If it's going to fail, it'll likely make a failure swing here. Apart from that, I would love to see a spool above the 366. Like if we can just um, get above there. But if this thing struggles, I think it'll just be a break even trade for me. We'll see. Just kind of talking to you guys through my thought process here. Got a beautiful tag into a discounted price point, swing low taken. 1 minute and 30-second order block confirmed there. Got a nice little push here on the 15. But yeah, she is very, very, very. Very, very weak to the upside here. Can't seem to catch a bid at all. I'll yeah, Fridays are bad, man. They're rough for me. Let's see, 224. We got the last 30 seconds. So the last 30 seconds of this candle will kind of show us what this wants to do, in my opinion. I don't want to see, I would love to see a closure above the 365s. Would love to see that. Because then that just means we get the nice little continuation into the highs. And then I okay. And then there are no 15-minute imbalances, but at 376 we do have a 15-minute imbalance. So we'll see if we can get above there. 376s would be sweet. Oh shit. I always forget to record, man. Why do I do this to myself? Okay, so we did take out the previous 15-minute high. So a bearish reaction wouldn't be too crazy here. I just want to see if we can get a push beyond this high and target the 404s, or yeah, just close above the 15-minute imbalance. That would be sick. Give us a nice little push here. 225. So we got 4 minutes before the 30-minute open. So whatever you're gonna do, NQ, do it now, brother. Nice push here. I am in for 1 minute, by the way. So fully sized because I am green on this account. So I didn't mind taking on the bit of risk. Beautiful push here. Let's see if we can get into the 376s. Can we get into the 376s? Nice, beautiful stuff. Come on, give us a nice little push there into that imbalance. And then just give us a nice little spool above there so I can trail my stop. Beautiful, beautiful. Come on, give us a push. Give us a nice little push. Come on. So 15-minute imbalance, 366, is where I'm going to look to trail my stop for 2R. Actually, nah, it's fine. I'm going to keep my stop at break even. I want to see if we can tag into the 404s. Um, whoops. And then whatever happens was whatever happens. I think we can see the 400s here flat level. So I'll keep my target there at 400s flat. And then my stop is at break even. So we'll see what this wants to do. Keep it there. I'm not gonna trail my stop. I'll let it do its thing. I'll let it breathe. Gonna yeah, just gonna let it breathe. See if it gives us a nice little push here into the 400s. I think it'll give us a nice gravitational pull. But yeah, there's the 376s getting into the 380s. We're 20 points away from the 400s, which I do think we end up tagging into if we can get a really, really nice push here. 228. So we've got 1 minute and 40 seconds before the next 30-minute candle, which is a very, very significant opening price for me. I know I said I wasn't going to trail, but I'd be kind of silly not to. 640s, 380. Come on. Yeah, make sure to like and subscribe, guys. Also, let me just make sure I'm fully aware of where premium is so I don't make a silly mistake here. Okay, cool. I think we can manage to reach up into a premium. That would be beautiful. 400s flat is the target. Give us a nice little pop. 229. We've got 30 seconds until the next 30-minute candle opens. So what I'm going to do here actually is I'm not going to get greedy. I'm just going to go ahead and move my stop to 380 or yeah, 376 is that high. Do I want to secure this? 376 is actually we'll let it breathe. We'll let it breathe. We'll let it breathe. Up a good amount here. 215. See if we get a push here at 330 or 230, sorry. Can we get a continuation here into the highs? We'll let it breathe. We'll let it do its thing. There we go. Beautiful stuff here. Come on, give us a push into the 400s. Come on. I know you want to. Beautiful, beautiful. 389s. 389s, 389s. Come on. 400s. 7 points away here from the 400s. 400s is it's a significant, it's a flat level, psychological level there. Did tap into the 396s there. Give us that last bit of a push. See if we can get up there. Haven't tapped into a premium yet, which I do like. Um, so yeah, we'll see if this can get a nice little push there. Three ninety ones. Can can we get above the 396s and see a spool into the 400s? It's going with me. All right, boys. I'm closing out here. I'll take it. I'm gonna close out at 395s. Not gonna get greedy for a tick. 395s. And there she goes. Close out here. 395s. Fully closed out there. Beautiful trade. 4.85R actually. Fully recorded it so you guys will actually be able to see this later. But yeah, beautiful, beautiful trade. Um, yeah, that brings me to 1.8K on the Apex funded. That was a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful trade there. Didn't want to be a dick for a tick, so I did take it. Took it there at the 395s. I do still think it obviously continues into the highs, but I didn't want to be a dick for a tick, and plus we were already near that hourly wick. So I didn't want to get greedy there. So closing that out there. When Alex buys, the market goes up. Yeah, yeah. Beautiful, beautiful trade here. Friday. I'm not gonna lie, I copy traded the fuck out of this one. Here is the execution. I'll just drop a screenshot for you guys so you guys know I'm not being a little goof around. There's the execution. Yeah, that's a bag on a mini. Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, it is. It is. You can do a lot of damage with a mini. Thank you. Um, Honestly, great way to end the week. Banger trade. I'll walk you guys through the logic here. Why not in the relative equal high? Because we're stepping into the hourly swing area. So I know that, and we're really close to a premium market. So if it wants to reject, it'll be around here, but we'll see. It can do whatever it wants now. Um, 50 points on this trade, beautiful, with a 10-point risk, which was just absolutely phenomenal. And I'll walk you guys through the logic here. There you go. There's the 400s flat. 403, you're now stepping into a premium. This can do whatever it wants. When Alex buys. Yeah. Um, Let me walk you guys through this actually. Now that I was able to successfully capture some longs, not like this morning. Everything else, if I do end up taking another trade, just know that it'll be on only one micro because I'm not going to look to ruin my profits for today. This one was pretty high confidence. Okay, let me break this down for you guys. So, need to kind of relax my shoulders. Um, so obviously, not obviously, but this is what I like to see. So, from a 4 hour chart, you have this, right? Which means what? Let's work through this together. For those of you guys that know me, 4 hour swing, right? This candle failed to close below this candle's low, which means I'm not looking for a continuation to the downside, right? I'm looking for a potential swing, which means that this third candle I'm looking for is an open to low, right? If I'm bullish, if I if I'm bullish, I'm looking to see the formation of an open to low. So obviously drop down to a 5 after analyzing the 4, and then rejection block here, yada yada yada, whatever, the whole nine, right? But we have a 4 hour swing, which means I'm looking for an open to low. So I'm going to mark out the opening price here. Or sorry, this is the opening price of the next 4 hour candle. So as you can see, we made open to low, drop down, protect, stayed within the boundaries of this swing, which means we failed to close or failed to seek this low. So that gives me the idea that we could potentially be in a third candle that's looking for an expansion higher. Now, what did we get here? Um, Off of this reaction, you got a massive up move, which some people like to call, what do you guys call it? Again, displacement, I think it is. Yeah, some people like to call it displacement. You're starting to close above imbalances, yada, 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 whatever. We have the framework for higher. I drop down to a lower time frame chart, right, on a 1. What do? I then pull from this high to this low, right? And then I'm observing both assets as I do this. What do I do on ES? The same exact thing. From this high to this low. You can see ES tapped into discount, NQ tapped into discount, swept out the low near equilibrium, which you guys know I'm a huge fan of. Now you might be asking, oh, but Alex, that's technically not a low and a discount. Alex, that's technically not a low and a discount. That's not your model. You're 100% right, but ES did. ES took the low at a discount. Whenever ES takes the first low at a discount and NQ fails not to, that is a divergence in my eyes. So swept the low at a discount on ES, it's more significant than the sweep on NQ. And then obviously on a 15, if we drop down to a 15 and I ask you, hey, what is the single candle or the candles that actually tapped into the same price point? So some people say, "Oh, Alex, you use the order block, um, like you only use one candle for the order block." That is completely and entirely dependent on the context. Because take a look at this here. And I'm gonna be very descriptive, so I need you guys to like bear with me. And be patient, please. Okay. Be patient because this will make sense. If you guys don't want to watch this, it's okay. If you guys want to do whatever, I know it's a Friday, but let me break this down for you. What is this price point? Let's mark it out. 30,330. 30,330, right? That's this price point. That is where this low is formed. That is that low's price. And obviously, if I head over to, where is it? Chart values, I think. Here we go. You should be able to see here in the corner, open OHLC, which obviously some of you guys may have on, some of you may not. But if I hover over this candle, what's the low? The L is 30,330, right? Um, so when I'm looking for the candles to consider as an order block, I'm looking for the first, or I'm looking for the candles that made contact or that had an order exchanged at that specific value. So what does that mean, right? For there to be a print in the market, for there to be a low formed, for there to be a price point printed as a candlestick, there needs to be an exchange of an order. That can be one contract. That can be, as long as there's a buyer and a seller there, it could be one contract, two contracts, it doesn't matter. But it will print on the book and it'll print on your chart. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for the candles that exchanged at this same value. So if you look at this candle here, the 14, the 2 p.m., 216.30, this obviously was nowhere near that price point. This one, however, was. And you can see that the low on this candle was 30,330, which is the same exact low as this candle, which means that there were orders exchanged here, which means that this is a part of my order block. And then this one as well. This one had interference with or contact with this low, and there were orders exchanged at this low, which means that this is also part of my order block. So had this candle not closed or had this candle not had a low at 30,330, I wouldn't have considered it for my order block. But because it did, that goes into the consideration for my order block. So as soon as I see a closure above this candle's high, that is now my confirmation. Obviously, what's it called? I had a limit here. I did not get tagged in. And then we see a massive distribution above. What do we have here? After, and it's in this sequence. First is the sweep, second is the order block, and then third is the the breaker. What do we have here? We have a really, really nice breaker. I don't usually take breakers, but I was confident in the fact that if we were to redistribute higher, we can maintain our stop at this low and then look to target the highs. Because price does not want to come back down here. It's already efficient, right? You've already tagged into a discount. You've seen a massive distribution. Price is not going to want to exchange more orders uh, from here to here. 351. Why? And why is that? You've had a buy side, right? In order for price to be considered efficient, you need a buy side and you need a sell side. As soon as you get that second buy side, you've already had three exchanges happen within the same price. This means that price is likely to just see an expansion higher. Doesn't need to exchange any more orders. This is already fully efficiently delivered. Anyways, yeah, that took the breaker, stop below the breaker, and then target the 400s flat. So now we can potentially look to apply that same exact logic here, right? So let's grab the newly formed range. If we're seeking a continuation, right? What do I do? From high to low, need to mark out or if ES is, no, I didn't tap into that discount. So I would need to see a sweep of the 6.2s or the 59s, tap into there, make a 15-second order block, and then see a continuation higher. So hopefully that made sense to you guys. I just bought new more TPTs. I love TPT, man. I'm not gonna lie to you guys. I do love it. It's probably my favorite firm. Whoa, what the fuck? Sorry. That looks crazy. Anyways, and so the thing I like about these order blocks is that we can reuse them, right? So we can actually look to take a trade off the same order block here. So if we get a closure above the 48s, we can look to retry that. And I will actually retry this if we get a closure back above the 48s with one micro because I'm not going to over risk. So let's give it a try. If we get this closure here, all right, boys, I am tagged in on the 48s. Stop is at 28, 20-point stop with one micro. And I'm going to see if I can look to tag the 402s, get back into the highs. Let's see. Let's give it a try. If we get stopped out, we get stopped out. That is okay. I'm only in for one micro. My risk here is like maybe 60 bucks. So again, make the winners big, make the losers small. Um, and let's see if we can get a nice move here. I will look to go break even at the 72s. Risk is minimal here. Let's see if we get a nice little push here, or if this wants to stop us out, which either way, I'm completely okay with. Again, minimal risk on this one. This is a high risk trade, so I'm okay. Again, my stop is at the 28s, giving it some room to breathe. And then we'll look to go break even if possible above this imbalance here, which are kind of like my favorite areas to go break even. So let's see. Let's see if we're able to get something out of this, squeeze something out of this move. Reusing that same order block back into a discounted price point of the newly established range, which, sorry, here we go. Back into a discount. This sweep of the low at a discount. Same exact model here. Sweep of the low at a discounted price point. Closure above the candle that pierced on the 15-second chart. You did get that closure above the 28s. So I'm curious to see if we can get a nice little push here. The thing is, we are still within this current 5-minute candle. Um, so that's redistributing lower, which I'm not a huge fan of. Uh, so yeah, we'll see. Again, this is a high risk trade, so I am in for very minimal size. Really low risk here. Last few seconds of the 5 minute candle here. We're gonna get that 250 open. These last few seconds will actually tell us the truth about what this candle wants to do. Whoops. So 21 points of risk, 84 ticks. That means it's 42 dollars of risk here. Not a lot, boys. Will they have a 50% off sale again? I don't think so, but I think they're currently 30 or 40% off, if I'm not mistaken. So 249, last few seconds here on the 5 minute candle. We'll see what this wants to do. I get the vibe that it wants to redistribute lower. Um, but we'll see if this decides to hold here. New 5 minute candle. Can we get a push here during the last few minutes of this hourly candle? Would be nice to see. Again, I am in at the 48s flat. So let's see if we can get a nice little push here into the highs, back into the 400s. Nice little reaccumulation here. If we get above this imbalance, that'll be my break even. What's the imbalance mark at? 72s. Now 72s will be my break even spot. Mm. Have a solid weekend. See ya, Element. Talk to you, brother. Good luck. Have a great weekend, guys. I won't be on for too long. We'll see if this trade pans out. I would love for it to actually, but yeah, this will be my last trade for today. Um, and yeah, again, if it is a losing trade, we'll lose 42 bucks. Winning trade was massive. So either way, I end up very happy. Giving it some room to breathe there with that stop at the 28s, giving it some of that room to breathe. Let's see if we get a push here after sweeping out this previous 5 minute low, or if it wants to just sweep out all the lows and take me out at 28s. And it looks like it, boys. Looks like it. Unfortunate. And there is my stop at the 28s. Unfortunate, but it does happen. Hey, we'll take it. $43.50 lost on that. And the last for the month. Yeah, that is it. One win, one loss. Uh, win with the mini, loss with the micro. I think knowing when to choose your battles is very important. Um, but yeah, let's observe and see if I was actually the liquidity in this case, and if it wanted to take out this low before going higher, which I think would be hilarious. But yeah, one of the biggest things for me is like knowing when to put on more risk and like knowing when to take off risk. So excuse me. Anyways, who is asking for the what's it called? Who was asking for the background, the wallpaper? Was it you, Pude? Pude? Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Oh, it was you? Okay, sweet. Ah, yeah, see, boys. Unfortunate. This was the move. This was the move. Another discount or another discount low, which I do like marking out. But yeah, this was the move. Closure above that candles. Let me see this one, this one. So you need to see a closure above 336s. That would technically be your order block. And then you can set your limits here. I won't be taking this, but for educational purposes, I want to see if this gets a nice little move on. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. How'd you guys do this week, by the way? How'd you guys do this week? How'd everybody do? Let's see. 25 votes, green 48%, break even 24, red 16, didn't trade 12%. Hell yeah. Beautiful stuff, guys. Massive congrats to all of you that ended the green week or didn't trade or honestly, whatever. One win, three losses. That happens, man. It happens. Truthfully. But yeah, I'll look to call it here in about like 5 minutes, guys, because I really gotta go to the bathroom. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba. Curious to see if you get into the 55s. Up 2% on one eval and another 2% to pass an eval. Hell yeah, congrats, man. Huge, huge, huge. Huge, huge, huge. A new era of PC by NVIDIA. Ooh. Oh, by the way, Apex is 90% off again, and they don't have activation fees on some of these accounts if you get the bundle of five, which I will be doing once I get this Apex payout secured. Many Shona beat Shebang. Nice little retrace there. See if it just wants to continue lower. Again, I am not in this trade. Not really looking for anything anymore. We took that one huge win. Fortunately, small loss as well, but it's okay. If you guys don't feel confident, right? Like, or if the setup isn't necessarily perfect, you still want to take it, which, obviously we should only be taking A pluses, but that's hard. I know a lot of people say that. Well, you should only be taking A plus setups. You should only It's hard to do that, right? Like mentally, it's hard. But if you're able to size down, that's already helping your willpower, you know? If you're able to size down on a trade that you might not consider an A plus, that's already helping your willpower. You're already mentally taking a win, and that'll help you develop your self-control more and more, or whatever it is that you're struggling with, right? Everybody says, oh, the solution is just to do it. Well, it's not that easy. If it was that easy, But what you can do is implement exercises that will help you develop the whatever the skill is that you need. Mini Shana beat Shebang. But yeah, no trade for me here. Didn't execute on this one. Wasn't Did like the setup, but again, not really looking for much here. See if it just wants to continue lower, uh, or what it wants to do. Does the lab create wallpapers? Yes, 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 yes. I'm actually glad you brought that. Oh, sorry, I just saw the same comment again. Sorry. I'm gonna post the wallpapers on the X, Pewd. I have them somewhere. Yeah. Do you need them for the phone or for? Because I have this one. Let me show you guys. I'll just quickly change it. This shit is clean. Look at that. That's clean, my boy. Thank you, producer. Where can I find a description of your model? On my X, Bucky. It'll be on my X. So, um, x.com/AlexTlas. Anyways, all right, boys. I think I'm gonna call it here. 3 p.m. Not much for me to do. Hopefully, if you guys are in a position, good luck to you. But I gotta go head over to use the restroom. It is a Friday. Enjoy your night out. Enjoy your weekend out. Don't do anything I wouldn't do. Wouldn't do. I don't know what the saying is. Anyways, if you guys have any questions at all, feel free to DM me on X. Feel free to DM me on Instagram. Instagram.com/trader ALEXXO. Make sure to like, make sure to subscribe. Apex 90% off. Be sure to use code LAB. By the way, if you guys did not know, you can actually get points and rewards if you go over to propfirm.compare and create an account. Um, get rewards on those evals. So use code LAB LAB. I'll look to talk to you guys next week. Peace out, everybody. Peace.